with the foreign ministers only, an in-depth discussion with Martin Griffiths, the UN Special Envoy for Yemen. We got a full debrief from him on the current developments and situation on the ground in Yemen and about his diplomatic work in the region and beyond. And we discussed how the European Union can better support his action to put an end to the current military escalation, to make sure that the parties are brought to the negotiating table, and then to guarantee that the work is carried out in the UN framework in the best conditions.
Paddy Smith, Irish Times. Back to Yemen. The conclusions called on all parties to desist from attacks on civilians, but it specifies its condemnation of the Houthi for their shelling of Saudi targets. I wonder why there's no reference in the conclusions to the Saudis and the Saudi bombing of that has involved civilians, and has that anything to do with the fact that one of our member states is supplying weapons to the Saudis? Is that giving them cover in some way? And did the UN representative talk at all about the possibility, which has been suggested by him, I think, but also responded favourably to by the Houthis, that the port would actually come under UN control? And is that a viable option as far as the Council is concerned?
That could be a viable option for us. As I said, we have very strong concerns about the humanitarian situation, the consequences of further military actions on not only the port but also now on the city, potentially, of Udeida. And this is why I mentioned the fact that we believe this should be avoided. As far as specific member states' positions are concerned, you know very well that there are some member states that have somehow expressed stronger views on one aspect or the other of the conflict. But what unites the Council, and that is what you find reflected in the Council conclusions, and most importantly in our daily action on the ground, both on the humanitarian assistance and on the support to the political process, is the need to bring the parties around the negotiating table. And for doing that, there is a need for the arms to cease activities and to offer diplomacy a chance. We all heard from the Special Envoy the assessment that a peace agreement is extremely difficult but possible, and for that to have a chance, the need is clear that the military escalation stops, that parties restart peace talks. It's now 2 years, there's no talks. The European Union was supporting very actively the last talks that took place in Kuwait. And by the way, let me take this opportunity to thank Kuwait for the leading role it has taken in the past on this file, as well as in most recent times on other files in the region, in a very constructive manner. And we are ready to accompany the UN efforts also, hopefully in the coming months, to reconvene the parties for peace talks.